If bad weather makes it difficult for you to see clearly, you should A. Speed up to get off the road quickly. B. Drive in the lane closest to oncoming traffic. C. Increase your following distance. C. Increase your following distance. When it is difficult to see due to darkness or poor weather, increase your following distance. This will give you more time to react to hazards that you may not see in advance. Before you enter an intersection, you should look to your A. Left, your right, then your left again. B. Right. C. Left. A. Left, your right, then your left again. Before you enter an intersection, look to both the left and right for approaching vehicles or crossing pedestrians. Look to your left a second time, as vehicle approaching from your left will be closer than those approaching from your right. Look across the intersection before you start to move to make sure the path is clear all the way through. This sign means you are approaching a railroad crossing that does not have a signal. You should A. Come to a complete stop. B. Proceed at a consistent speed while looking and listening for approaching trains. C. Slow down, look both ways, listen for any trains, and be prepared to stop if any trains are nearby. C. Slow down, look both ways, listen for any trains, and be prepared to stop if any trains are nearby. At a railroad crossing marked with this sign, a driver should look both ways, listen for any trains, and be prepared to stop if any trains are nearby. Never try to outdrive an oncoming train. You should allow an extra cushion of space. A. When following a station wagon. B. When following a driver who cannot see the rear of their vehicle. C. When following a small passenger car. B. When following a driver who cannot see the rear of their vehicle. Drivers of trucks, buses, vans, or any vehicles pulling campers or trailers may not be able to see you if you are driving directly behind them. Increase your following distance when driving behind one of these vehicles. Additionally, large vehicles can block your view of the road, so increase your following distance to look around the sides of the vehicle and see the road ahead.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
When you see an emergency vehicle approaching while using its flashing lights, you must A. Maintain your speed and stay in your lane until the vehicle has passed. B. Move into the right lane and drive slowly until the vehicle has passed. C. Pull over to the curb or edge of the road and stop until the vehicle has passed. C. Pull over to the curb or edge of the road and stop until the vehicle has passed. If you see an emergency vehicle approaching while using its flashing lights, pull over to the right edge of the road and stop. Position yourself parallel to the curb. On one-way streets, drive toward the road edge nearest you. You want to turn left at an upcoming corner. Yield the right of way to A. Oncoming vehicles also turning left. B. All approaching vehicles. C. Pedestrians on the sidewalk waiting for a walk signal. B. All approaching vehicles. When making a left turn, you must yield to pedestrians, bicyclists, or other vehicles moving on their green light. This sign means A. Traffic signal ahead. B. Stop. C. Yield the right of way. A. Traffic signal ahead. This sign warns of an approaching traffic signal. You should not start across an intersection if you know you will block the intersection when the light turns red. A. Under any circumstances. B. Unless you entered the intersection on a yellow light. C. Unless you entered the intersection on a green light. A. Under any circumstances. Even if the signal is green, you must not enter an intersection unless you can get completely across before the light turns red. If you block the intersection, you can be cited. When passing another car, sound your horn if the car is A. Turning into your lane. B. Driving very slowly. C. Signaling a right turn. A. Turning into your lane. Use your horn to communicate with other drivers on the road. Use your horn if you are passing a driver who does not see you and is about to turn into your lane. No passing zone. Signs tell drivers A. To speed up slightly. B. That it is not safe to pass. C. To maintain a steady speed. B. That it is not safe to pass. If you come across a "No Passing Zone" sign, it is not legal to pass in the indicated area. You are likely driving in an area with restricted visibility where it would be unsafe to pass another vehicle. This sign means A. There is a 35 miles per hour speed zone after the curve ahead. B. Drive no slower than 35 miles per hour around the upcoming curve. C. Approach the upcoming curve at a speed of 35 miles per hour or slower. C. Approach the upcoming curve at a speed of 35 miles per hour or slower. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. These signs may be accompanied by speed advisory plaques that indicate the speed with which you should proceed. Highway pavement will be particularly treacherous and most slippery. A. If it has been raining several hours. B. If it has just begun to rain. C. If it has been raining for 1 to 2 hours. B. If it has just begun to rain. Pavement is particularly treacherous when it first begins to rain. Accumulations of dirt and oil mix with the rainwater, creating a greasy film on the roadway. This sign is used to warn drivers about A. Upcoming intersections. B. Road construction. C. Road curves ahead. C. Road curves ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign is used to warn drivers about an upcoming curve to the right. This sign means A. Pedestrians walking along the road ahead. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. C. Pedestrians must not cross here. B. Pedestrian crossing ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to where pedestrians may be crossing. If a pedestrian is crossing in a crosswalk marked with this sign, drivers must stop and remain stopped until the pedestrian is no longer in the crosswalk. Increase your following distance when driving behind a large vehicle. A. To better see around the sides of the vehicle. B. Because other drivers tend to pull behind large vehicles before trying to pass them. C. because following too closely will get you caught in the vehicle's slipstream. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. No left turn. C. No right turn. C. No right turn. Where this sign is posted, it is prohibited to make a right turn. It would be unsafe and unlawful to make a right turn at an intersection with this sign. This sign means A. School crossing. B. School zone. C. Pedestrian crossing. C. Pedestrian crossing. This sign marks the presence of a crosswalk. Be alert to any pedestrians that may be crossing the roadway. This sign means A. Do not enter. B. Yield the right of way. C. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. A. Do not enter. This sign is posted on one-way streets and other roadways where a driver is not allowed to enter. A driver may see this sign if attempting to enter an expressway ramp in the wrong direction. If you are continually being passed on the right and the left while driving in the center lane of an expressway, you should A. Stay in the center lane. B. Move to the lane on your right. C. Move to the lane on your left. B. Move to the lane on your right. If a road has 4 or more lanes with two-way traffic, drive in the right lanes unless you are passing or turning left. If you are on an interstate highway and are driving below the speed of the flow of traffic, use the right lane. This sign is a warning that you are approaching A. An intersection. B. A crosswalk. C. A railroad crossing. C. A railroad crossing. A round sign means you are approaching a railroad crossing. This sign is posted a few hundred feet in front of the tracks and tells drivers to slow down, look, listen, and prepare to stop. You should signal continuously while turning because it A. Is illegal to turn off your signal before completing a turn. B. Lets other drivers know what your intentions are. C. Is always unsafe to turn off a signal before completing a turn. B. Lets other drivers know what your intentions are. You should always signal when turning, changing lanes, slowing down, or stopping so that other drivers, motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians will know your intentions. This road sign means A. You must travel through the intersection at the posted speed limit. B. The maximum speed limit under ideal conditions is 55 miles per hour. C. You must not travel below the speed indicated. B. The maximum speed limit under ideal conditions is 55 miles per hour. Regulatory signs provide notice to road users of traffic laws that must be obeyed. This particular sign tells you the maximum speed limit for the stretch of highway where it is posted. You may drive more slowly than the posted speed limit, based on road conditions, but it is illegal to drive any faster than the posted speed limit. A pedestrian starts to cross the street after the "Don't walk" signal begins to flash. The pedestrian is in the middle of the street when your signal light changes to green. You should A. Proceed if you have the right of way. B. Proceed if the pedestrian is not in your lane. C. Wait until the pedestrian crosses the street before proceeding. C. Wait until the pedestrian crosses the street before proceeding. At a green light, you must give the right of way to any vehicle, bicyclist, or pedestrian in the intersection. If a pedestrian begins crossing the street after the traffic signal light starts flashing, wait until they have crossed the street before proceeding. A broken yellow line down the center of a road indicates that A. A construction zone is ahead. B. Passing is not permitted from either direction. C. Passing is permitted from either direction. C. Passing is permitted from either direction. When broken yellow lines separate the lanes of traffic on a two-lane roadway, any driver may pass when there is no oncoming traffic. When a bicyclist is making a left turn, A. They may use the left lane. B. They may cut through all lanes. C. They may wait on the side of the road. A. They may use the left lane. You should expect to see bicyclists driving with traffic on the road. You should not be surprised to see a bicyclist using the left lane when turning. Which of these statements is true about roadwork zones? A. Fines are the same for violations committed in work zones as they are under normal traffic conditions. B. You must slow for the cone zone. C. Slow down only if you think workers are present. B. You must slow for the cone zone. Reduce your speed and be prepared to slow down or stop for highway equipment. Driving carefully through work zones improves safety for drivers, pedestrians, bicyclists, and road workers. Use antifreeze washer fluid because A. Cold fluid can scratch your windshield. B. Moisture can cause cold wiper blades to crack. C. It will keep the washer fluid from freezing. C. It will keep the washer fluid from freezing. Use antifreeze washer fluid in areas where the temperature could fall below freezing. It is important to be able to remove salt, dirt, and slush from your windshield when driving in winter weather. When preparing to make a left turn from a two-way street, you should drive A. Near the right-hand side of the road. B. Near the center line. C. On the left of the center line. B. Near the center line. When you are turning left from a two-way street, begin in the lane closest to the center line and start your turn just before the front of your car reaches the center of the intersection. Do not cut the corner. Steering hand over hand, turn into the first available legal lane. This road sign means A. Intersection ahead. B. Steep grade ahead. C. Winding road. B. Steep grade ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign indicates that there is a steep hill ahead. Slow down and be ready to shift to a lower gear to control your speed and protect your brakes from damage. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should A. Slow down by shifting into a lower gear. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. C. Slow down by pumping the brakes quickly and firmly. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should ease your foot off the gas pedal and stay off the brakes. Do not try to stop or turn until your tires are gripping the road again.